Yellow again, guys. It's your coach here, back another video on the channel. I haven't dropped any videos. So if you guys are looking for the continuation of what not was neglected and adopted by Tsunade, it's not coming today. Pretty much. I also have an announcement. By Sunday, I'm not gonna be posting videos for a bit because I'm gonna be gone for a rest, a very long one, for the 3 months optimum at best. Cause I'm going back to school now. Yeah, so I can be bringing you that content. I'm also doing like my exams and shit. But as long as I'm finished with that, you guys gonna be getting tons of videos. Pretty much. Thank you for supporting the channel thus far, guys. You guys really helped me, during this time of quarantine and stuff. In my boredom, with all your support and everything. Yeah, I'm also gonna be creating a second channel, for fan fictions only. Pretty much, it's gonna be yeah, Coach Senpai. Pretty much. So let's get into this new video. This is what if not was given a second chance. So I hope you enjoy this video. Let's get straight into it. So I'm gonna start off this video at the final battle. Pretty much, Naruto was now fighting Sasuke Uchiha. Pretty much, they're fighting, for who is to to remain and control the world. Pretty much. So as Naruto was fighting Sasuke, Naruto was holding back, a lot. Pretty much, he was wasting. Pretty much, he wasn't, fighting at his optimum. Pretty much, he was slacking off. He was just, doing it because Sasuke was his friend, pretty much. So as they were fighting, Sasuke got the drop on Naruto and sliced his arm off, pretty much, with his sword. And that's like the same arm Naruto loses his right hand. So Naruto just, Naruto uses some of the Kyuubi chakra, to heal the wound, pretty much. But it's unable to regenerate because it's been cut by that Amaterasu blade, pretty much. So it got culturized, pretty much. It's not just finished up the healing process. It's not a stump. So he might have to get some Hashirama cells on that. So Naruto he gets his arm sliced off. Uses some of the Kyuubi chakra to heal it, but Sasuke gets the drop on him, pretty much. As Sasuke stabs him, pretty much. Naruto then falls down, pretty much. As he's like like Sasuke, why? So Sasuke is like, I'm doing this to rule the world, pretty much, and all that stuff. The same time he talks about in canon, pretty much, as he then finishes the deal, by stabbing Naruto in his heart, pretty much, killing him. But our boy Naruto, doesn't die that fast. He's like the student of Jiraiya, the Sannin, pretty much. So Naruto's like, oh, so I'm about to die. So Naruto then tells Kurama, one last thing, pretty much, as he then looks at Sasuke and says, so So Naruto, then undoes like like the Judai Tsukuyomi very much, because he just did some Manseus, then he undid the Tsukuyomi, because Sasuke wouldn't have anyone to rule it pretty much, so he undid the Tsukuyomi and Sasuke. But Naruto then looks at Sasuke and says, if I'm gonna go out pretty much, I'm not gonna go out alone. I'm gonna take you with me. Because Sasuke then looks to see, but it's already too late. Naruto has already formed some Manseus, and Naruto starts to glow as rather than explodes. Imagine a cubified bomb. So so I think pretty much that pretty much eradicates all life on Earth. Pretty much no one is left alive. Everyone, they all die. So Naruto then wakes up in a void. Pretty much he does not know where he is. He's like looking around, searching, trying to see if he can find anything familiar. He then looks around and finds something. Pretty much he's in a void and he's he seems to be falling. Huh. So this is my destiny, to keep on falling for eternity, pretty much. Then he then stops as something grabs him, pretty much. Oh no, this person is the Shinigami, but instead of being the big bad scary Shinigami you all know and love, pretty much, this one is it's a woman. So Naruto never got with Hinata, pretty much. In this, Hinata died in Neji's place, and Neji still got clapped by Madara, pretty much. Went no Obito, pretty much, when he used the Jubi, he got clapped there, so Naruto had died, pretty much. But she had told Naruto, she had confessed her feelings to Naruto. But Naruto, being as dense as a rock, did not pay any mind. He did not know what she was talking about, pretty much. So yeah, so Naruto is being grabbed by this woman. Naruto then sees her, she's wearing she's holding a scythe. She has black clothing, pretty much, a V top, a high top, which is black, a blouse black, and some black leggings and black shoes, black high heels to be exact. So this woman, then looks at Naruto and is like, oh, so it seems the prophecy, didn't come to pass, pretty much. As she just then shakes her head, pretty much, and she just looks at Naruto. She then goes wide-eyed, pretty much, as suddenly an influx of souls, just like be pulling up, to the Shinigami's realm. So she then starts to think, oh no, oh this paperwork, She's like, ah, hell no. Then suddenly a bright light emerges, it just pops up, and there's another woman. This woman is called Kami, or no, as Kami-sama. So Kami then looks around, and suddenly there was an influx of beings in heaven, pretty much, that was not supposed to happen. So she noticed one of the worlds had pretty much died. All life on that world had been taken out. So Kami then looks and says, oh, Naruto, hmm. So you're not supposed to be here, she says, pretty much. As the Shinigami then says, yes, he's supposed to be here, since he's already marked by, by my seal. She's referring to the Atrigami, or the dead demon consuming seal, pretty much, that Naruto has on. Which, Naruto's like, shit. So, the deal was, when Naruto died, the deal Minato had made, pretty much was when Naruto died, his soul would be claimed by the Shinigami. So, wish, Minato fucked up. So, but Kami is like, she's like the chosen one, pretty much. And Naruto is then, like, she then asked Naruto if there was no other way rather than killing all life on Earth, pretty much. And Naruto's like, if I hadn't, killed anyone and spared them the misery of serving Sasuke, pretty much, I had to do it. There was no other choice. She's then like, there's always a choice, but Naruto's like, no, you don't understand. There was no redemption for him. So Kami then like starts to think for a bit. She then looks at Naruto, pretty much. She licks her lips for a bit. He's like, She then looks at the Shinigami, and calls her over, and they start, talking between them, pretty much. Then they stop talking. Then they look at Naruto, with hungry eyes, pretty much. So they're like, what, let's go to my realm. So Kami and the Shinigami and Naruto then get teleported, to Kami's realm, pretty much. So Kami's then like, okay, Naruto, here's the deal. We can send you, back, pretty much, back in time. Naruto's like, back in time? What do you mean? So they then explain to Naruto, the same thing, regarding, going back in time, so that he can go and reverse the changes. But, he has to sacrifice something, pretty much. Which was like, I have to sacrifice something. What would be, of importance? I have nothing, pretty much. He didn't say, you have to sacrifice yourself. And I was like, what do you mean? So, they then start, to talk about, how, like, the two of them pretty much have been, single and, and virgins for, like, thousands and thousands of years, pretty much. Because, they haven't had really had time for this. So, Naruto, then blushes a bit, when he hears them talking about that. Because Naruto himself, had already got his cherry popped, by, some of the whole bars, pretty much, by, courtesy of Jiraiya Sensei. So, the Shinigami then walks over to Naruto. She leaves her stuff, she walks over to Naruto, then kisses him on the lips, pretty much, Naruto, is first shocked by this, pretty much, but, he then starts, to kiss back, pretty much. As, this shit turns out into a full-blown makeout session, with Kami just looking, with hunger in her eyes, pretty much. So, you about to know where this is going, pretty much. So they continue, like, kissing for a bit, as, they eventually, like, stop, breaking apart for air, pretty much. Just like, wow, that is so good, pretty much. As, she nods her head, she's like, yeah, that's that right. You getting there, pretty much. Naruto then just smiles, pretty much. Like, I enjoyed it. So, it's now Kami's turn. Kami then walks up and notices, they start kissing, pretty much. But, they then say, before, like, we, like, move any further, Naruto, we have, to, like, to train you for a bit first. But, like, train me. Because, they're like, we're goddesses, Naruto, so, you're gonna need that extra stamina, Even though you have the highest stamina count, pretty much it's not gonna be enough. You need stamina, like a lot of it. You know, to which Naruto nods his head, pretty much like okay, okay, okay. So they then take Naruto to the special room. The special room, is a room that transcends time and space, pretty much. It's like the hyperbolic time chamber in a way. But just when inside there, time is paused, pretty much. It's suspended, so you can pretty much train for as long as you want in there, rather than outside. So it doesn't have a time limit, like the hyperbolic time chamber. And there is also a trick. You don't have you're not fatigued. You can continue training days upon end, pretty much. So they then enter into this chamber, pretty much as Kami then pump some of her divine power, as well as the Shinigami. Is they start training Naruto. So pretty much it's like they stripped Naruto pretty much of everything he's learned, starting him from scratch. So they then begin training Naruto in how to use the various styles, pretty much. Kami's style is called the divine style, pretty much. That's the style for angels. And Shinigami it's just the Shinigami, the dark style, pretty much. So this dark style Naruto has to use a scythe, or anything that, but it's still a scythe in a way. So the scythe will help him reap some souls, pretty much, because Shinigami wanting that Obito and Madara souls, because they lived long enough, as well as Orochimaru's soul. She needs it, because Orochimaru be like talking and smack about how he be immortal and shit. So she gonna need his soul. So they train Naruto pretty much for how knows long. Naruto then masters the styles, then move on into like the what's this, the jutsu portion, where Naruto is taught to develop his own jutsus pretty much. So Naruto's chakra is divided into both yin and yang. Yin being light, yang being dark. I say that wrong, but I don't know. So Naruto then discovers from the dark, he gets some abilities. He can control the shadows. He can teleport to anyone's shadow pretty much. He can even use the shadows to mimic people, pretty much take control of people using shadows. And lots more abilities. With the divine style, Naruto can heal wounds, pretty much. He can answer prayers like Kami, pretty much. Like make people's dreams come true, pretty much. And many other things which I'm not gonna say right now. So Naruto, continues his training until he's eventually done. And boy, Naruto be looking good, fam. He's looking good. Naruto's jawline, is developed. He's got a bit of a beard a bit, because he hasn't cut anything. His hair is up like to his freaking back, pretty much. And his clothes are not that worn out, but are still worn out at the same time. I don't know how that makes sense. And also, there's also a major change to Naruto's eyes. Naruto's eyes, no longer like the blue, the light blue. They're pretty much purple now, freaking purple. Yeah. So a purple with rings, pretty much. I think you guys might know that. It's the Renegon. Yeah, it's the Renegon. The eyes of the Sage of Six Paths, the Renegon. So he trained with the Renegon, since I'm gonna say the Renegon was the blessing from the higher deities or supreme beings of the universe. They'd given it to the sage pretty much, and he used it to swap the ten toes. So the ten toes was like an allocate of Kami pretty much. It was like he was a messenger used for creation, but it got corrupted with all that power, because power goes to your head. So it got corrupted, and started going around trying to destroy. So she had to send the Sage of Six Paths to put that beast down. Because she herself, she could fight it, but like it would be catastrophic compared, to how the Sage of Six Paths did it. He divided it into 9 pieces, which is the 12 beasts. So yeah, continuing on with the what if. After his training is done, pretty much, he then goes in and has a shower, cleans himself up. He looks proper as he heads over, to a room, wanting some rest. When he arrives at the room, pretty much, he sees Kami, wearing that nice lingerie. Pretty much, she's looking good, fam. She's looking good, and you can practically smell, that divine, that divine perfume, pretty much. You don't get that shit anywhere else, bro. It's expensive. Made by the elves of the higher realm, pretty much. And yeah, all that stuff. She's looking good. She also has her hair in a bun. So we glance over at the Shinigami fam. Ooh, she be looking gorgeous. So Naruto, then like goes with where the bed is pretty much as he lies down pretty much. Immediately as he lies down, he's then assaulted by Kami and the Shinigami, They pretty much, rip his clothes off pretty much and get to business. So, I'm not gonna explain what that means pretty much, but you guys know. Um I got a strike from YouTube for making this type of stuff, because I said something in my other videos, so yeah, I'm gonna be mindful of what I say. So, they didn't do, the deed pretty much. Then they wake up, the next day pretty much, both of them looking satisfied, they be looking full pretty much, So, not even like, so is it time for me to go back here now? Which, they're like, yeah, Naruto, it's time for you to go back pretty much, but you're always welcome to see us pretty much. We're gonna be there. So it was like I'm very thankful pretty much, because oh boy, be thankful. I doubt he wouldn't be. So like, I'm very thankful for giving me this chance to go back, and fix everything. Which of them nod their heads and like, yeah, it's okay, Naruto, it's good. So, Naruto, eventually, then get sent back. But they told them that they're gonna visit him, and he can add more members to their family. Which Naruto then nodded. So Naruto is then sent back pretty much, with the power of Kami and the Shinigami, they can control time, they send him back. The point at which they send him back, it's his training trip with Jiraiya. Sasuke already left the village. So Naruto is training trip with Jiraiya, and it's like, 2 years into it. Naruto then starts, to continue his training on. Pretty much he already knows what part of this is. He continues his training, but it's much more serious. He then asks, Jiraiya about sales. It's Jiraiya then says, sales, what do you need sales for, Naruto? Naruto then says, I need to learn sales as well, and I'll not be like you, understanding? And my teacher then nods his head and starts to teach Naruto, sales. Naruto always is, he should have clones, together, some other, sales and stuff, pretty much. And in secret, Naruto, is training, using the Haraishin pretty much, because he knows that formula pretty much since his father showed him the formula. So Naruto knows the formula of it. So, Naruto, continues his training on until the 3 years time skip is over. As Naruto then heads back to the Leaf Village with Jiraiya Sunny. When they arrive at the Leaf, pretty much, and Sakura, they decided to greet Naruto and shit. Naruto is not even in the mood, pretty much. So Jiraiya had sent a message to Naruto, warning, about Naruto's change, of moods. Pretty much, he's not as goofy and as, loony as he was. He's now more serious and, cold towards people. Except, for those he keeps close. So, when Sakura sees them, she's like, hello, Naruto-kun, that's, hello, Naruto, pretty much all that stuff, Naruto's like, hey, how's it been going? In the theistic, feel, pretty much. Naruto's like, oh, okay. So then they head over to the Kage Tower, with Sakura pretty much. Sakura was also going there. She was been trying not to make some small talk with Naruto. She eventually stops seeing it's no point. She then starts to talk to Jiraiya. And she asks Jiraiya about Naruto. Jiraiya's like, he changed, And I was thinking of, the training trip, he changed pretty much. I don't know what snapped with them, but he changed. When they're up in Tsunade's office, Tsunade then like, oh hey Naruto, pretty much. Naruto's like, hey, there, Granny, how you doing? And she's like, Granny, I thought you know me, Pachan. Something must be wrong, she thinks to herself. Then thinks back, to the words of Jiraiya, the pervy sage. And, she refers from there, thinking about what might have changed in Naruto, she then, glares at Jiraiya and says, so he's grown more powerful now. And Shiraiya then says, you have no idea. He's, he out far, surpasses me, pretty much, Which, they're like, what? Jiraiya then says, yeah. He's already surpassed me, he's stronger than me, faster, more intelligent, and more cunning, pretty much, and, more perfect, pretty much, as well, since as well in, Jiraiya's footsteps. So, Naruto, still gives Kakashi the book as, Tsunade and says he wants to see his skills, in teamwork, which not pretty much declares and says, no teamwork. I hate working in teams, pretty much. I don't work alone. She's like, that sounds like Naruto. Okay, Naruto, let's see. So, then move on, like to, the bell test, pretty much. Where, Naruto purposely, fails teamwork with Sakura, pretty much, so that she doesn't have on the same team as her, pretty much. Kakashi sees this pretty much and he's like, you're fighting her, Naruto. I wonder why. She's been your crush, for like a long time now. Pretty much, Naruto, thinking and hearing, picking trying to pick up on Kakashi's thinking pretty much. He looks at it, he glances over at Kakashi and is like, yeah, things change. So, as they're continuing, their battle pretty much. Naruto, then just like goes by and Sakura and chops in the neck, knocking her out, which many people are shocked, they're like, wait, what? Why, did he knock out his teammate? So then, starts to face off Kakashi on his own, pretty much, and, and Kakashi going at it. Kakashi, to take off his headband, pretty much uncover that Sharingan eye. As he looks at Naruto, says, not right, how Sakura, not like, shows innocence. So him and, and Naruto start clashing. Naruto, takes out a blade. Kakashi takes out a kunai, they start like going at it. And then they're going at it, it's no, there's no fucking tomorrow. They're, going at it. So, as they continue fighting and fighting and fighting, Naruto, changes and goes, he does the headhunt to Jutsu and Kakashi pretty much. Where Kakashi used to be shooting out of the way, but he's then hit by a coin, which hits him with 1,000 years of death pretty much. As Kakashi goes flying. One clone catches Kakashi and slams him into the ground, almost knocking him out. Kakashi, then does a fire style fireball jutsu, destroy most of the clones pretty much. All the clones, then make jutsu of various elements pretty much, which are inside the 5 range. So not then drags over Kakashi's punch pretty much. Everyone gets in close and attacks Kakashi and hits him, with a wound palm in the stomach pretty much, knocking Kakashi back as, one of his clones pop out of the ground and, grab the bells and, substituted pretty much. So, when Naruto grabs the bells, he then gives both bells to Sakura pretty much and starts walking away. He said like, it was good to see you, Kakashi sensei. I hope, next time we meet, you're much stronger and, and you're freaking more serious. So guys, I'm gonna leave this off right here. This is what if Naruto was given a second chance. I hope you like and subscribe to the channel. Peace out.